Hello, hello. Good morning. So great to be here with my wife, Efsun, and a team member, Christian, and many, I guess, hopefully friends in the NFT space in Discord. I'm Refik Anadol, a media artist and director working in Los Angeles, also teaching at UCLA last 8 years about media arts. And I'll do my best to quickly explain why NFTs are an incredibly important way of sharing. As a media artist thinking about physical and virtual spaces for more than 14 years. I coined the term, by the way, this is a wonderful team in Los Angeles. Not all of them are here, but we are doing our best as a 15 people can speak 15 languages, represent 10 countries, to create art for anyone, any age in the world. Mostly in public art context, and try to be sure inclusive and do our best to create new experiences around the world. I think last 8 years, or maybe 14 years ago, when I coined the term data painting, I had always these interesting moments. I don't know how to draw, to be honest. I'm not a very in a physical world have many ideas, but I know that in the voxel and pixel world, there's a lot of opportunities and imagination. So last 8 to 10 years, the idea was embedding media arts into architecture, using data in a way that is just beyond just numbers. And I think imagining data as a form of memory is a very inspiring and exciting form. And over the years, we learned a lot about embedding media arts into architecture and using large space architectural canvases and built environments. We learned so much that when it's an experience in life art that is much different than just a virtual piece of experience in life. So our practice heavily on the public spaces, in an airport, in a hospital, in a public space, in an opera house, pretty much anywhere we can do our work. And I think over the years, maybe you remember 2016, there was this incredible moment happen, AI art. And this piece by the Google engineers, a kind of a backpropagation of a machine that is kind of reconstructing a hallucination, was a huge change in our practice. And 6 years ago, I became one of the first generation Google AI artists, and thanks to Mike Tyke and Karen McDowell, started the journey by using AI and big data. And maybe it's not well known, but this project, Archive Dreaming, is one of the first world's example of using 1.7 million document archive and use AI and real-time create an experience in a built environment where data universes of information can become an art. So this piece, to me and for our studio, and I think for the AI art scene, is an important one. And last 6 years, the question is, if a machine can learn, can it dream? Became the body of work. And as you see, not only physical world, but also in VR, last more than 8 years, we are practicing. So what I would like to say, maybe this idea of a machine hallucination, if a machine can dream moment, become 2016 December. It was the very first time I was able to work with an GAN algorithm, generative adversarial network, which is now very, very famous. And on the right side, as you see this left side of a machine decisions in latent space becoming this three-dimensional data pigmentation. So in my work, you may see a lot of those particles and moving fluid dynamics. It's more than 6 years of research, which right now we are super excited because NFT space also allowed us to bring this data. Last 6 years, we download more than 2 billion images and train more than 100 AI models. And very, very grateful for our friends at Google and NVIDIA. By the way, Jensen Huang, one of the most wonderful supporter of our city in 2017, we have been heavily in the computer graphics and pushing the boundaries of an AI research. And over the years, as you see, developed many artworks, and each artwork is representing different colors and patterns and movements. I think it was so exciting that all this research and the idea of a memory, which I think is our most important material in the world. So the work became much more about, maybe you remember this piece, it was in Chelsea Market at Artec House. We were able to create these invisible cities of New York in the mind of a machine and turn it into an immersive space. So literally our work is not only in physical, not only in virtual, in this this exciting liminal space where this machine dreams can become a pigmentation with an 18-channel projection and 32-channel sound as well. And over the years, this idea of embedding architecture and AI and data, even this project from last year, we were able to train at 75 million flowers AI, and when you enter this room has an AI dreaming flowers, the sound, the visual, and also the scent of the flowers, which we are calling it rainforest. And here I would like to come somewhere which we all know, metaverse, right? To me, this is exactly, I hope, that the future that is more exciting than wearing a TV or going to a marketplace, but a feeling, an idea of a machine dreams, you can step in and feel this imagination world. And I think this is another world that I hope that public art can also achieve with NFTs. So we learned that last 4 years. By the way, my journey with NFTs started 2018 summer. A collector called in a WhatsApp and said he cannot sleep because he wants to mint the piece he owned from a gallery. That's how I learned. By the way, Pak and people, wonderful friends, we have been talking so many years. But this was a moment for me at Nifty Gateway when we started this journey, 2020. And over the years, we learned that the NFT space and the amazing community is really enjoying the idea of mission dreams, mission hallucinations. And all these ideas right now in the blockchain, and I think they are very excitingly fitting the culture of the NFTs. Another project was Sotheby's an auction last year in Hong Kong, and Jihan Chu also owns this piece right now, an immersive room as an NFT. So the idea was, what happens if we go beyond JPEG, video, audio, or text? Can the space become an NFT? And it was a very inspiring, another auction happened in Hong Kong, which was also physical exhibition. Another, I think, important moment for the NFT space, recognition of the MoMA. I think one of the most important museums in the world, recognizing the moment and allowing us to collaborate with their 300,000 pieces and reconstruct into an NFT collection. I do believe this kind of moments for NFT space is very important. I do believe that this kind of recognition from the museums and cultural institutions will bring more value to the space in the long run. And later on, this also became an NFT collection. A piece that you see here also became a ticket for the collectors, and I have a very good news, very coming soon, about this collection as well. But the idea was mission dreams, every single artwork from the MoMA archive as well. And over the years, by the way, each of them is 101 pieces, also auctioned on Feral File, and now they're also it can be found in Ethereum, the bridge, thanks to their amazing team at Feral File. And over the years, we've worked with Quantum AI Computation, which was another piece in NGV in Melbourne, one of the most visited 1.7 million people were able to see this piece, 10 meter by 10 meter data sculpture. And we also made a project around that, and it was, I think, the only project in the blockchain using Google logo on a smart contract, and we generate 1,000 unique bit strings from the quantum computer in Santa Barbara and generate 1,000 landscapes. And over the years, we also learned that public art, again, is incredibly important. This piece in Art Basel Miami, the person on the left meditating, looking at the beautiful sun, and a person has experienced the piece. Another auction piece also in Art Basel Miami. A beautiful also review came about NFTs because of, I think, the power of public art. And also the piece was, as you see, not in like a small space or a museum or a gallery, the piece was in the nature. So NFTs can also become an experiential world beyond, again, just an experience in metaverse. And also, I think nature is one of the best metaverse. Body and soul is not too different, right? And then later on, we learned that in also Berlin, we did a project called Mission Hallucination Nature Dreams. And this time, we augment a tower, a physical piece, became also NFT. There's a real-time data sculpture using wind data from Berlin and real-time changing every day. A dynamic piece of NFT as well. But inside the building, we have this much bigger piece, which was also in an auction on OpenSea, another piece that have been transformed 200,000 people. The largest audience ever in Europe went to a gallery in 5 weeks. So NFTs, I think, can also become a kind of a campfire, bring people together and create a positive effect on the human mind. And we are right now researching as a team the impact of this piece, specifically, why that specific piece brought 200,000 people in Berlin, and how it can be like understood from a different perspective. And the piece is also right now in Centre Pompidou, one of the best museum institutions in Europe. And the impact of the NFTs, again, is incredibly powerful, even though they are not only online experiences. As you see in these different contexts, we can feel the impact of power of digital art. And I think I'm really grateful for our audience around the world and their support about public art and NFTs. And recently, we made this project with, thanks to SpaceX datasets, we were able to create this collection to support St. Jude Hospital, and we donate $2.5 million, literally one whole day of an hospital. And our community allowed us to raise this money, and we literally paid the entire cost of an hospital for families, for children. And thanks to the Discord family. And this is the only money I will talk about today. And the rest is also very excitingly the piece in Florence, where Renaissance born, a piece on the beautiful next Donatello, another data sculpture, a recent collaboration with Zaha Hadid, DALL-E 2, which is OpenAI's recent research. We got access many months before the public, and we 3D transformed the OpenAI outputs, DALL-E's outputs, and transform it into an amazing immersive room designed by Zaha Hadid architects. which will come to Dataland, our last project. Sorry, I'm a little bit like rushing, but the room you see is an immersive space. It's called Architecting the Metaverse. In collaboration with Patrick Schumacher and the entire Zaha Hadid, we were able to train an AI that can dream beautiful forms of Zaha structures where you can go and step in as an experience, not a two-dimensional feeling that you can truly like fly in, and hopefully in game engine, you will be able to feel the machine dreams of Zaha dreams. Another NFT project as well. Here are some outputs. As you see, two-dimensional DALL-E, that they become three-dimensional, where you can go and feel and interact and hopefully sense it. A recent project, Rumi Dreams, that is thanks to, again, OpenAI team, we were able to use Rumi's 19-language Mesnevi and train AI on the incredible cultural data. And also, last one, NFTs can also bring many people. We are watching a recent project called Casabatio, a living architecture, an auction on Christie's as well. We generate this beautiful event in Barcelona, also at the same time in New York. 47,000 came together to celebrate the Casabatio. As Gaudi says, originality consists in returning to the origin, does that which is original returns to the simplicity of the first solutions. We thought, what will happen if we take this incredible building and transform the facade into an NFT, a dynamic NFT? So the idea was take the facade with 100 billion points, 1 millimeter accuracy LiDAR scanning, and then using a real-time sensor. This NFT constantly gets data from the Barcelona and ever change itself based on the wind patterns, the rain, and pretty much anything the weather station can hold. So the collector gets this in real-time game engine artwork that lives on a 4K simulation. Also have the scent. We generate the scent of Gaudi's building by using all the materials he has in his life. And it became an incredibly also moment both in Barcelona and in New York at the same time. We augment two locations. And I think it's another metaverse context that we can connect multiple cities through NFTs. Thank you very much, and for very importantly, today, honor for, thank you very much. Thank you for all collectors, all Discord families, and team members that allow us to where we are, and I think we are changing the world altogether, and Dataland, promise, it will be a different version of all the verse that we know. Thank you very much for today.
Oh, you're so wonderful.